because it is our time. I hear the crowd in the background, man, they just want to see.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Carr going to throw right away. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. Another try after the first down sack. Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. A gain there of 21 yards. The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
Now Carr. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
To throw again on second down. Carr. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Carr finding his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first. The Raiders in 3-0 here in the month of September. Are they coming on a pretty good roll here? Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. It's a big play there for Vegas. 53 yards. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be. Here's Jacobs. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Flush to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Derek Carr with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their 25-yard line. They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Williams going to get it again on second down. And he's got some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right, you're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. On third down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I don't see Morgan trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one for 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Working with a 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And they'll run the end around here with Judy. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now a man who began with the Raiders, it's Latavius Murray. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Off the option, here's Williams. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down. The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, something like that neighborhood.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And that is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs.
Well, certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Carr to throw again. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. I'm just impressed he held on to that football. You're coming across the middle on the crossing route like that, absorb that contact. Whew.
All we talk about in today's football is trying to get the football away from the offensive player.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Now a timeout coming here defensively. As on 4th down, may as well make him punt it. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. The kick by Carlson is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. Trying to lay one up deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Glenn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And the slot man goes in motion left. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And the Raiders have got him. Give that sack to the linebacker, Jayon Brown. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's good for 28 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. To throw his Carr. And this one is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
And the Broncos force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On 2nd and 9, Wilson.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there. Just kind of hoping something good can happen. A completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Carr now to throw. He hits Adams complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing now is Carr.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Steps away. And it's caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs from 4 yards out.
And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Another run for Murray on second down. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll get this one to Patrick. And some room to run now. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. So they connected on a short pass on 3rd and 1 to pick up the first, opting not to run it. Well, there was a lot of run after the catch all the way into the end zone.
On these short yardage plays, you often get man coverage in the secondary. Not every time, but oftentimes you do. So if you decide to go ahead and throw the ball, once they get away, especially on one like this, short pass, but now he just takes off and goes. How much rack did he end up with at the end of that one? Run after catch all the way into the end zone.
From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10. They're on 31 yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr. Aiming for Jacobs. He's got him, reeling it in on the out route. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters. Carr now on 1st down. Same target. It's Jacobs again. Touchdown! Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Raiders are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. There he goes, left side. 20. He will score.
Touchdown, Broncos. And that big fourth quarter return, Charles, makes this a one-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had a big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for two? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? They've been in attack mode.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Looking to throw on first down is Rippon. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Here's Carr.
That one into the hands of Adams downfield.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now, Carr again.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. They'll look to throw again. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down.
Partner, I know that ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr.
And the Raiders are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. On a has the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Phillips now from the end zone.
Darius Phillips on the return. The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. From the 44, Rypien. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Rypien to pass. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Rypien on 1st and 10. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now Carr.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Carr going to throw here. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Where they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre and post snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now the 4th-round pick out of Georgia, Zamir White.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's right. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
But, Brad, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on.
Whenever